Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I created this mixed media piece with color pencil. So first I have my piece of toned tan sketch paper that I bought. It's from the brand Strathmore and I really like this paper. I love using color pencil with it because it adds a nice tone to the back of my color pencil drawings. So for this mixed media piece, I really wanted to experiment with line and form and contrast. So I wanted to give form to my figure, which I am shading here, as you can see with my color pencils. And in the background, I wanted to contrast her form with some really flat Japanese stencil designs. I always like to play around with form and different patterns and shapes in all of my artwork. So now you see I'm adding a lot of highlights and different details to her face to give her form. And then after I'm finished with all of the shading, I'm going to move on to her hair. I usually don't draw girls with short hair, but this time I wanted to try something different and draw a really beautiful girl with short hair and just give tribute to us pretty girls that have short hair. So I'm starting off with some dark detailing for the shadows in her hair, and then I added a layer of blue to give her that kind of bluish sheen to her hair when I go over it with a marker that has a felt tip. So I'm layering these little lines on top of my blue sheen so that it still shows through the line drawing here after I layer on the little tendrils of hair that she has. And after I'm finished with the shadows, I'm going to go back in with a lighter color pencil of a light blue and just add a little bit more highlights in some areas to make her hair look shiny. And then when I'm finished with the hair, I'm going back in with my Uniball Sigma white pen and I'm just adding some little white highlights on her face and in her hair. And now we're going to get to the really fun part, which is decorating her earrings. So I decided to experiment with some gold pieces that I got from Texas Art Supply. And they're these little gold flecks that you can glue onto your artwork. And it's kind of like broken up pieces of gold leaf. And I really love playing with this. I'm using a paintbrush and also a little tweezer to add these little flecks of gold pieces onto her earrings to give her that shine. So I'm mixing it up with tiny little pieces and big chunks and mixing it up there and gluing them down nicely. And the glue I'm using is actually the adhesive specially made for using with gold leaf. And you can get it in the gold leaf pack at your art supply store, or you can just buy it by itself. So this is the book I used to get inspiration for my stencil design that I'm going to be incorporating into my drawing. As you can see, it has hundreds of fantastic Japanese stencil designs that you can get inspiration from. And it's so beautiful. Each pattern and design is different and unique. And this is the one that I settled on for my mixed media piece. And I think I'm going to continue with a whole series of these and just see where this can take me. So to get started, I'm going to start with a piece of heavyweight black Bristol paper. And I'm going to draw out the design that I want to cut out with a pencil first, just to give it a little outline where I can see where to put my gold dots with my Sakura gold marker pen. So I'm using the pencil lines to guide me to where to put my little dots for my stencil design. And once I'm done drawing everything out with the gold pen, I'm going to start cutting it out and then gluing it onto the background of my drawing. So I'm adding tiny little dots all around. And after I'm finished, you can see that I am cutting it out with an X-Acto knife. If you are not very good with using the X-Acto knife, you have the option of scissors also. So scissors work perfectly fine. It's just when you get into the little crevices, it could be a little bit more difficult to cut out tiny details if you are trying to do it with scissors. So eventually my hands got really tired because the paper was pretty thick, so I had to add a lot more pressure than usual. So I ended up giving up on the X-Acto knife and just going back in with scissors. So now that I've have all of my pieces cut out, I'm just going to start gluing them down, and I'm using my Liquitex Professional Matte Gel as the glue medium. It is a fantastic glue medium that you can use and apply with a brush. So I'm using that to glue down all of my little pieces and arrange them in an interesting way in the background and foreground of my drawing. And as you can see here, sometimes the arrangement that I had in mind didn't turn out the way I wanted it to when I started laying it down onto the paper. So you always have to be open to making adjustments to your art if needed. It's more about the journey and discovery when you're creating a piece of artwork. And a lot of times I have to adjust and change my view or my predictions of how it's going to turn out. And you just have to be able to adapt and be open-minded about it. So here I'm just trying to figure out where to make the design flow and adding all of the necessary pieces to complete the background. And once that is done, I wanted to add a little bit more detail to her body. I decided to draw a blue dress on her. So I looked up some inspiration on Pinterest of some haute couture dresses, and I found one that I really like. It was this beautiful light blue dress that had some floral designs on it. So I used my colored pencils and I took inspiration from that picture online, and I added some purples and some light greens for the design, and I think it really came together in the end for sure. And I know I've been super quiet in June. You didn't really see any videos from me. That's because June was such a hectic month. I had a lot going on in my personal life, and hopefully I'll be able to make more videos in July for you guys. I'll definitely be making more art for sure. So this is my finished mixed media piece. I will have prints of this mixed media drawing up in my shop if you're interested in getting a copy for yourself. And if you want the original, that will also be up in my shop. So head over to alicelayart.com and see for yourself. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give it a like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!